Yes. Back again. Coffee Break with JN is back again with that Philadelphia East Coast swing. Coffee Break with JN and this caffeine. You know who you are, caffeine's friends and regulars, not decaf. Coffee Break with JN. Going off. Not too hard. Not too soft. Well, hello, guys. Welcome back to your favorite Thursday, every other Thursday, 9 p.m. EST group therapy session. Welcome back to Coffee Break with Jay, and I am but your humble host. Uh, you can't say this mixed company on the internet anymore. Shout out to my man Wilson Fisk, but a humble spice dealer, Wilson Fisk. They have them all. They have them all misinterpreted. I am yet your friendly, humble host. Yes, that Philly soul sound. Shout out to Philadelphia, the sound of Philadelphia, the SOP, Gambling Huff up in here. Yeah, the group is in session. You know about group. Yeah, TZ, welcome back, Cotter. Good to see you. That's right. Gotta get my ergos correct. Let me get this off the screen, guys. Welcome back to Coffee Break. Um, Yo, shout out to Greg. What up, Greg? Good to see you, buddy. Greg, how long have you known me? How far back do we go? You know, we stay up, right? Pause. But this is my I have some coffee rules, and then I'll do hellos in a second. Good to see you, Greg. Shout out to you. Hello to the fam. Say hi to brother Chris for me. Um, as most will know, people with ADHD, stimulants do the reverse to our systems. So my third cup of coffee for the day kind of puts me at ease. So that's how I. It's only one cup, and I have rules of engagement for my coffee usage over the years. Lord help me when my system shuts off and goes, you know what, man, you can't have coffee anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do. But until that point, I have relegated myself. I've done a lot of things over the past 5 years. One of the biggest things I've done over the past maybe 10 years is I used to be a hardcore dunks guy. I was up in Dunkin' Donuts like it was my job because that was kind of like your and shout out to Dunkin' Donuts guys. Let's start off our chat by typing into the chat. What is your morning go to? Are you a Dunks? Are you a Didi? Are you a Starbucks? Are you a local mom and pop coffee place? Are you in your kitchen making coffee before you hit the road? Put it in the chat. I'd love to hear it. But back when I knew I had to one stop spending so much money and to stop looking for this whatever in the drive-through of the Dunkin' Donuts, I knew something was wrong when I would go to the squawk box, and my man knew exactly who I was and what my order was before I even rolled the window down. That's an issue. And I remember what I used to get. I used to get this is before for some of my diehard Patronuses know I used to rock with a medium hot latte or oat milk. But back then I was a kind of like a cafe au lait guy. Um, but I think even further back when I go to Dunkin's, I think I got a medium coffee with I think just cream or something, or maybe cream and two Splenda or something like that. And then I would get a manager special. And if you know your Dunkins, The manager special is a cream delight donut. Pause. Not Boston cream, cream delight. And you knew it was bad when I would get there and my man would be like, manager special. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't. And he goes, my friend, I got you. Don't worry about it. And then I open a bag. There'd be like 2 extra donuts in it. I do not need 3 donuts. I don't need 1 donut. But let's do some introductions and then I will take your breakfast order. I see a whole, hold on, where's my banner at? I see a whole lot of superstars up in this chat. I can't find the superstar. I see a whole lot of superstars up in this chat. Let's sound off. Why don't we? Why won't we? Why should we? I see Mr. Paul Pate. Well, hello. One of my favorite call signs. Well, hello. If you follow me on my Patreon, well, it's not here. It'll be later. I start off every program with well, hello. It is what I do. I have plenty of call signs. I see 5 times claps in the chat. What up, Shogun? Good to see you. I see Matt Ringo 7549. Like I guess there's 7548 in below of you. Of the mighty Waringo dynasty. Hello. Matt, if you were here, that means Suze may not be far behind. And we all know our coffee break rules. If Suze does not report to the dance floor, there will be no Suze post. Can you make her appear? That's right, Shogun. Hit that up, dude. Yo, like and subscribe, you guys. Who else is in this chat? Yo, I see Bill. What up, Bill? Good to see you, Bill. Bill's a good dude. I will use my Art and Franco speak. If you know my boys, Art and Franco from the comic book tag team, Art and Franco. There are, I guess you would call them all isms. I don't know what they think. They have things. Maybe it's a Midwest thing, but Art Baltazar is famous for going, "Oh yeah, man. Oh, you're a good man, sir." Yagums, you're a good man, sir. Bill, you fit that profile. Let's see who else is in here. I see, yo. What up, Paul Pate? Paul Pate, what up, Paul Pate? Paul Pate. So just mash that thumbs. Yes. One of my dearest friends. America, this is you. America's Tom Zoller is in the chat. Tom, you just, yeah. You've been places. I won't put your business in the street. Let's see. Well, good to see you, Greg. I don't know how long you're going to hang around, but good to see you in the chat. And you're telling on yourself because if the first thing you do when you log on the coffee break with JN and go is like, yo, you're drinking coffee, you haven't seen enough coffee breaks with JN. So you need to tell them people, correct your actions, fix your face, get on the good foot and hang out with us. Yo, what up, Stu? Good to see you, brother. 1773, you're older than I thought. Hello, Stu. Good to see you. Let's see who else is in here. Yo, Sue's made it. Hey, Suze, how are you below? Is this rounding it off? I see a lot of the same people talking. Yo, I see Bros. What up, Bros? I'll start the coffee discussion. Your morning setup. Bros says if I'm heading to the shop or the office, the Dunkin' and or Wawa. Yes. Paul Pate says we have a Michigan-based chain called Big B. I get a mint mocha and limit myself to 2 a week cause money signs. Yeah, there was a little coffee shop near my job. It was kind of like almost like a college hangout spot. And when I first started at the college, it was at the train station, so I was in there like every day. And I don't think I ever put 2 and 2 together how much money I was spending in there, but it was just kind of like I liked the vibe. I was waiting for the train. Let me get a coffee. Yo, those scones look good. And then like, I don't know, 30 pounds later, I'm like, yo, I don't think I should be doing it. Shogun says, you know I'm all about that Starbies. No, Kirkland's signature kitchen drip coffee for life. I love it. There's gotta be some kitchen aids in here. Pause. Greg says United. Yeah, I'm sorry. Unity Coffee in Roxborough is pretty ridiculous. They let you take no. Well, that's good to know. Good to help the community out. Yo, what up, Gordon? Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. Gordon, what's your breakfast order when you have to leave the house and go to whatever you do? All right, do you have to stop somewhere and get a coffee? If that is true, where do you go, or do you make coffee in the house? I just assume everybody has coffee in the morning. I could be wildly wrong. Paul Pate says, and I hope you're talking about me because I'm reading this out of context. During the pandemic, these people in group were my only friends. I appreciate that, Paul Pate. I appreciate that because you know what? And somebody else gave me flowers, not literally, but figuratively today, and it meant a lot to me. They even mentioned about how they love what happens here on the JNN Jamar Nicholas Network, and how I just every week, actually more than every week, like kind of like every couple of days, I press the record button or I press begin stream, and I just go. And he said, "You know what, man? I gotta say, I look forward to this stuff. It makes things spin. You're really good at it, and it's really cool, and I appreciate that because sometimes like the voices in your head ain't enough. You just kind of hope you're doing things the right way. But I've said this a couple of times when I was just kind of feeling like in my bag. I'm like, yo, some of y'all better not forget I got you through the pandemic. Real rap. Y'all were logging in, watching the JNN like every other day, getting y'all through. We were brushing hair up in here. So just because you could go outside for now, don't forget. Never forget. Sue says, I like an English breakfast tea. Or if I want something different, green tea with mint. Are you doing that in the kitchen? Or are you going outside for that? Bill says, respect the Ember Jamar with the pro. You like my pro gamer moves with the Ember coffee mug? That thing is literal fire. It's fire. IYK. Tom says, but on Sundays a Starbucks venti mocha, no whip, and a classic coffee cake. Okay, I see you. Yo, Kelsey, nice to see you. Welcome to the chat. When Bros doesn't go to the shop or office, he waits to see what I do. Gotta wait. You gotta wait for the move. I feel you on that. Stu, non-coffee drinker. What are you? A hot tea, strawberry milk? Let us know. TZ says, and as of Lent, no coffee for 40 days. Man, I respect that. Does not apply to coffee break. Gordon says, no coffee for me too much. Caffeine makes me nauseous. Oh wow. So I usually go green tea or herbal tea. Herbals. There's a place at work. I actually have a Starbucks at work where I'll grab something. Okay, okay. Thanks for coming to the chat. Matt says, we do breakfast at home. I make French press, half calf, and Suze gets a cup of Barry's tea. Then I get another cup at work. 2 cuppas in the house. Yo, Angel, respect the architect. What up, Angel? Angel says straight Puerto Rican coffee. I love it. I have I kind of mess up the algorithms by I readily admit that I have a K cup. I've been curing in my kitchen, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. I started the show off talking about how much coffee I drink. I do not need a pot of coffee in my house. That's way too much coffee for me, and I'm the only person that drinks coffee in this house. So, like the thing is dope, and I can also kind of regulate how much of that I'm drinking because I don't, I work from home in the studio. So I have after I wake up and do my morning constitutional, I have a cup. Then I usually go right back and get another cup. I'm like a 2 cup engine start. and then I just let it rock. And I might have a cup of coffee like 3:30, 4 in the afternoon. Or if I know it's coffee break with JN, I will stave that third cup until I come on here. Pause. Eternity forever. What up? Welcome to the chat. No coffee, no breakfast. First meal. Oh, you're a no breakfast person. I've run into your kind before. It's interesting. Is it just kind of like it just upsets your apple cart? Is that kind of what happened? Yo, is it Elaine or Alan? Elaine. I know a guy whose last name is Elaine. So hey, welcome to the chat. I think I saw you a call on pencil to pencil last night. Welcome to the chat. Do you like wrestling? Sure. And if so, who was your favorite wrestler? Oh man. Um, I should ask Greg. He probably knows this. It's hard with wrestling fans to kind of narrow it down to like one person because it's like or we could talk about the Mount Rushmore. Everybody's got a different Mount Rushmore. You're four guys. I will say it's probably Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it's not because it was Steve Austin's whole career. Because remember watching him when he was in I think USWA like back in the day, and then when he was Stunning Steve with hair. And if you go back and watch old YouTube clips of Stunning Steve Austin promos, you can see Stone Cold's like right under the epidermis. He just didn't have it all together yet. And it's fascinating. So yeah, Stone Cold is best for business. Thanks for asking a question. I usually don't get questions. Greg says, I drink black coffee, but every so often I challenge myself to find the most insane and ridiculous latte I can find. I recently had a cherry latte with chocolate mocha sauce, whipped cream, and sprinkles. Oh my, that makes my tooth hurt. Stu posits, I was an OJ guy in the morning, Coca Cola for caffeine, but now just doing water. Boring. Eternity says, well, what I do, it's John Valdez, pure Colombian roast. Yo, that's peak. I like John Valdez. It was added to the lexicon. Bling! John Valdez has been added to the Pokedex. Bill says Brazilian coffee is jet fuel, also served with hot milk. Oh my god, you guys are talking about coffee. Matt says just deep clean my Keurig. I need to do that because those things get nasty if you kind of don't run them every day. I'd stopped using it, and it got gross sitting there. Still haven't used it since. Yeah, you gotta do that. Oh man, yeah, you called me. Damn it. Yeah, hot stuff Eddie Gilbert's my guy. That, and he's not. That's not even a Mount Rushmore thing. I feel like I just betrayed my answer. I guess it depends on the circumstances, but yeah, hot stuff Eddie Gilbert is my guy. Hot stuff Eddie Gilbert was before his time. He had a magnificent mind for wrestling. He is probably known for some of the craziest angles in wrestling, like when when he ran Jerry Lawler over with a minivan in Memphis, and like per- amazing heel work. And also, if Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert did not come to Philadelphia, there would be no ECW. We can get into it, but we're not going to do it tonight. But thank you. Oh yeah, everybody loves. I think Macho Man's been a little inflated by. I think that YouTube culture has made Macho Man Randy Savage popular for the wrong reasons. And we've talked about this before. I don't really want to talk about wrestling tonight. Is like you kind of see all these out of context wrestling promos of people like menacing and screaming and sweating, and it's always like, oh man, the Coke must have been good in the '80s. So when you see these Macho Man things, it's like, oh, he's insane, and that's what you like about Macho Man Randy Savage. And I think that's like a vertical slice that I don't really enjoy. But yeah, Bill says an espresso machine. Oh, okay. Do you have George Clooney on speed dial in case it needs surfacing? The espresso machine needs both a tank descaler and a capsule cleaner. Mm. I should probably do some surgery on my Keurig. Gordon says one of my favorites, avocado toast with cracked wheat sourdough and get was it matcha Japanese brown micha Japanese brown rice and green tea. I don't know. Why I'm holding on to this. Nobody's talking. Cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah, Scott Steiner. Yeah, see, that's all like very internety. Uh, oh wow, think Gordon's adding to the chat. I love it. So yeah, that's oh man, where'd the time go? We're just kind of kicking it. I actually wrote down stuff I wanted to talk about, but look at that. We don't always get to that stuff. So Paul Pate says this is interesting. Scott Steiner math is always fun. So, and one thing I love about being a generational wrestling fan, I've been watching pro wrestling since 1983, something like that. There's a lot of wrestling in between that. One of my favorite things, and Greg's also is like a, and Bill, there's a bunch of wrestling people here. Um, if you remember, and I'll probably get some of this wrong. I thought I wouldn't talk about wrestling. I don't want to lose anybody. That um, hold on, let me get this right. So, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert was the manager for a very loose group of pro wrestlers. And if I get this right, it was Rick Steiner, Sting, and who else? Who else was in Hot Stuff International back then? And this is already Sting had been around for a little bit, and the original Sting, well, it's always been the same Sting, was the Blade Runners. And I had this thought in my head that CM Punk is probably the closest thing to Sting, and I'll explain that. So back in the day, the Blade Runners, which it was almost like early, this really early Sting was just like balloon muscles and just like black goth paint with a young Ultimate Warrior. So it was Blade Runner. Was it Rock? I forget Ultimate Warrior. Then he was the Dingo Warrior. Ultimate. Okay, so it was Rock and Sting. Sting kept his name. So then later it was Sting and Steiner were a tag team, which was Rick Steiner and Sting. And then somewhere in NWA WCW, Scotty Steiner debuted. And he was like, where'd this dude come from? He's jacked as all hell and did these moves that nobody ever seen before. Frankensteiner, the Steiner screwdriver. And he was just like, he was like crazy big. Oh, I forgot. Just talk about Ricky Steamboat, and all will be well. Remember, I had a little overlay of Ricky Steamboat. I gotta find that for Suze. And oh, the dog's barking. See, threw me off my track. Good. We'll leave this for another time. So, but Sting kept his Blade Runner name his whole career, and CM Punk, best in the world, which he kind of plays with now because people who hadn't followed CM Punk from back when he was like in the backyards, and then he was like in the Indies with bleached blonde hair and basketball shorts. He was in the Chick Magnets, and that's CM. So it was Chick Magnet. Wasn't it a Steel? And I'm messing some of this. It was Punk and the other dude, and then he just kept the CM. Yes, thank you, Venom. CM Venom, yeah. So CM Punk, CM Venom, the Chick Magnets. So it sounds kind of goofy for this almost 50-year-old man to call himself the Chick Magnet, but that's what CM means, not Charles Montgomery. He did create the Frankensteiner, which is insane to think of looking at Scott. So anyway, I just saw this kind of like what if fork in pro wrestling. So right in the middle of the 80s when Bret Hart was on top and the Steiners were hot, there was a thought to break up Rick and Scotty and have Scotty go singles and beat Bret Hart for the world title. And if that happened, I don't know where we'd be right now. Well, I can only speak for you, Tom Zoller. Oh man, that's good stuff. Um, so yeah, also with High Stuff International, shout out to Missy Hyatt, the Walking Riot, Missy Hyatt, who at one point infamously went out with Jason Hervey from the Wonder Years, and then Paul Heyman knocked Jason Hervey out with the with the portable phone. What a great time to be alive. Yeah, think about that, right? Because then the whole Yokozuna stuff wouldn't happen, and then Hulk Hogan wouldn't have happened again, or maybe not in that way. Wow, what a shift. My also sorry, I didn't mean this to turn into pro wrestling. My other big fork, and for Greg maybe and Bill, I think this is one of the biggest what if parts of pro wrestling lore. What if Magnum TA didn't get in that motorcycle accident? Because Magnum TA was supposed to be the great coming, and he was going to beat Ric Flair and be the big man. What if he never got hurt? Because all this other stuff branched out. Nikita Koloff turned face. The whole thing happened. Yes. Jason Hervey from the Wonder Years was also a celebrity judge for the Flair Sting time limit draw. Oh, Suze. I need more coffee. All right. So before I run out of time, I actually wanted to I'm going to switch my ticker, and I was going to talk about even in the little bill. I wanted to talk about the weather right now. Sorry about the dog, because on the East Coast here, we're kind of bearing down for snowmageddon. And man, this might be the last time you see me, so I hope you enjoyed me while I was here. But there was kind of like this froth that the internet is whipping up, and a lot of people just fall right into it. Beyond just your local news telling you you need to go buy cheese curls, M&Ms, and M's, and white bread and milk to survive the storm. All over my Facebook, there's these. I didn't follow them. There's these like Doppler weather experts who have these snow reports with like bands of color going across the eastern seaboard. You know, if you're in the pink band, if you're in band B or C, well, but you know, this could change overnight. And it's like, you could see it in like real time churning people up. Right. So it's, how are you guys dealing with that? Right. It's kind of playing on our emotions in a whole different way. Right. And, you know, famously, some of you guys might know that we had a big meteorologist that they ran out of town on a rail because he had swore up and down we're getting this crazy storm and it didn't happen. Sue says I bought a whole cherry pie. Did you buy a whole cherry pie for the store? That's great. Tell him Hurricane Schwartz is the only one to listen to. Shout out to Hurricane. John, what up, Big Joe? Good to see you, brother. Yo, let's get a sipper. I didn't do any sippers tonight. Yo, let's get a sip of coffee from our man, Big Joe. Big Red in the building. Guys, get your pinkies up. Let's do a sip of coffee for Joe. Yes, sir. John Belaris. Yeah, so John Belaris was the guy who got ran out of town because he it wasn't. I mean, that's his job, right? But he whipped the city into such a frenzy, and then I think like a flake of snow dropped, and they like got the pitchforks. Like, yo, you can't live here no more. Well, maybe I like my story better. Bill says friends went to Costco today. Not sure if they survived the panic buying crowd. TZ says we need more than Mageddon and Apocalypse. We need snow finale of Game of Thrones or snow Tom's relationships or snows. Snorers on it. You're killing me, man. It's good. Stu says my weather prediction that you can bet money on. We're getting somewhere between 2 inches and 80 inches. Yeah, see, that's kind of just where we live. Yo, shout out to Steve Peters. What up, Steve Peters? Look at all of these superstars showing up in the chat. What up, Steve? Steve says I used to see Balearis at the Acme at Fifth and Pine when I worked there. That's what's up. Snorsaurus. You guys are funny. Yeah, Stu says John Balearis in his storm of the century closed everything in the Philly area at that time. Not a snowflake fell. Yo, Beef, shout out to Robert Beaver. What up, Beef? Good to see you. Man, we have cheesesteaks waiting for us. Beef says, my drive is in four-wheel high. I love it. Oh, yeah. I remember, oh, well, I kind of remember 78. That was just, well, oh, I do remember. I do remember 83. I remember 96. Yeah, we were just talking about the storm in 96. Frankensteiner storm. I love it. Oh, Blizzard. Blizzy. Yo, no Blizzies. Yo, where's Ronaldo at? That's funny. So I wanted to. There's been a part of Coffee Break with JN. You may remember this because we go back so far. One of my things that we did. Let me see if I can find it. Did I delete it? No, that's not it. Here we go. You remember No Savesies. Now, as this is a very Philadelphia-centric show, the John thing wouldn't work if you didn't get that I was from Philly. The town that I am from is very hard to find a parking spot in. And I found this clip that I was going to play for you, which is kind of, it's not funny, but it's funny. So let's, I'm going to play this real fast and then we can discuss. And keep moving the icons around. I don't know where he is. All right, hold on 1 second. Is this it? Make sure it's good. All right, get your popcorn.
Illegally saving parking spaces has almost become an art form in Philadelphia neighborhood. Neighbors there say they're known to use all sorts of things to make sure no one takes their parking spots.
So you may be thinking this only happens during snowstorms, right? Well, not quite. Eyewitness News reporter Waukesha Bailey reports from Bucket Street.
You can come here in the summer. You could be here in the fall. It doesn't matter what the weather.
Bucket after bucket lining Vista Street in the Ronhurst neighborhood of Northeast Philadelphia. In fact, there are so many buckets, neighbors now call this Bucket Street.
Yesterday there was 9 of them.
And we know all too well, parking spots come at a premium here in the Northeast. One resident who wants to remain anonymous tells Eyewitness News she's lived on this quiet and quaint street for decades, but she says now it's been taken over by the Bucket Brigade.
Well, it's a way to reserve your spot all day and not allow anybody else to park there.
So what happens if you move the bucket?
Well, they could see you on their camera and they could get angry. They might hurt a tire or put something on your car.
And just like that, it happened. The Bucket Brigade in action right in the middle of our interview. A neighbor places.
Oh no.
There's only one problem. There's not that much snow out here. Officials say saving or reserving any on-street public parking space is prohibited, since the Philadelphia Parking Authority only enforces illegally parked vehicles in certain designated parts of the city. Residents should contact the local police district.
Just pick up the buckets and have a little common courtesy.
As the day goes on, more and more buckets appear on Vista Street, aka the Bucket Street. Waukesha Bailey, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Street. So it might be January, but it's always July when Julian's in the building. What up, July? Good to see you, brother. This was great. Bill says you violate the bucket in your car when you become a Kia. Yo, I needed that. Yo, I want to see you in a Kia. That's fantastic. Yo, you know what's wild when they're putting stuff in the middle of the spot and it's not snowing. That's hardcore, and there's probably rules on that street. Like, yo, you mess with Mr. Chris's bucket, yo, there's consequences. So I wanted to ask you guys if you have in your neighborhood or whatever, maybe you have a driveway, maybe you have a garage, maybe you park on the street, maybe you live so deep in the city you don't have a vehicle. How do you deal with parking in the snow? Or do you dig out other people's cars? When in our last apartment, I think we had 2 cars, and then the other neighbors. Like, I can't remember how it was. I think one of the neighbors was pregnant, and her family was like, whatever. And I don't know what. I dug everybody's cars out every time it snowed. It's crazy. That's your alarm clock. Woo woo. That's that woo woo. I don't know, man. The woo woo, the whistle tips is that's peak. Oh, for real? It's like that, Joe? That's crazy. Anybody else want to add to that? Any snow stuff? What else is in my list? I don't see them, but I was going to. That's that woo woo. You dig out our mailboxes in cars. Oh my goodness. So Greg, I'm glad Greg showed up tonight because this is the perfect time to talk about Philly craziness. Greg says, we lived over by that traffic circle by Walnut Lane Golf Course for a while. The woman who lived next door to us is putting out saves these chairs all year long. If we ever parked in front of her house, she'd knock on the door complete with a rare combination of obscenities. Yeah, people don't play around, man. It sounds like real goofy. It sounds real goofy, but if you violate, man, you got to pay a price. You know, it's just real. It's just, I can't remember. I think we did this a long time ago. I did like a top 5 list of things that I've seen in saves these spots. Like I saw a hobby horse. The Adirondack chair is a classic piece. I saw this was a pothole. I saw a whole ass oven range stove in a pothole, and people were just like riding over the over the burners. That's how big that pothole was. Steve says, the first year of my apartment complex, I dug out a bunch of empty spots to make them easier to get into. Later, I went to clean off my car, and someone had done it for me. Oh, wow. That's what's up. That's not how I thought that story was going to end, but that's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's going to. Hold on. Bill says in Bayonne, there's buckets, snow shovels, lawn chairs, and one time there was a Weber grill. She to the light pole. Wait, if somebody leaves their whole ass shovel in the middle of the spot, that's getting took. I'm surprised that this stuff is still there when they come back. But yeah, lawn chairs always wind up in the spot. And I remember kind of at the end of that thing, um, I kind of stopped. I didn't do savesies. I was just like, you know what? I got to go to work. Let somebody else park there, and when I get home, hopefully I'll have a spot. Right? That's like a loot drop in Fortnite. Like, I'll take it. What is that? Yeah. Um, and I don't, you know what? I don't have it, but I just maybe the last thing I'll ask about this is for us people that have to put on the gloves. Oh, Joseph, hello. Well, hello. Yes, welcome to Coffee Break with JN. I want to give. Oh, let's go with another sipper for my man Joseph, who always represents lovely on Pencil to Pencil, guys. Another pinky up. Man, I gotta clean this up. I have stuff on here that we don't even do anymore. A sipper for my man Joseph. So refreshing. Yes, we've got all these caffeines in here tonight. I love it. TZ says, I live in the burbs and have a driveway that I shovel like a gentleman. Yo, but if somebody parked in front of your driveway, there'd be problems, right? But people know better in the burbs, right? Paul Pace says, I grew up in the city. Now I live in a suburban subdivision. People in the city are just way more tolerant of chaos and crazy shit in the city. Facts. Here, people get pissed if you park crooked. They own an HOA time. I love it. Yeah, I mean that is also a thing. It's just like all bets are off when you're in the city. Um, so also, I don't think he's here. I was going to give a shout out to my man Jerry Kraft. I don't think he's here because he would have said something by now, unless he's just waiting like a genie to appear when I say his name. Joe Hendry. Say Jerry Kraft's name, he will appear. So yeah, I want to do this. I don't know. Maybe he'll see it later. I don't know if he's here. But big shout out to my homeboy, Jerry Kraft. You know Jerry Kraft. Newbery Medal Award winning Jerry Kraft. Coretta Scott King Prize winning Jerry Kraft. New York Times best-selling Jerry Kraft. First base, Jerry Kraft. Second base, Jerry Kraft. Shortstop, Jerry Kraft. That Jerry Kraft. Yes, that Jerry Kraft. It is. Say it like Beetlejuice. He'll appear. My homeboy, Jerry Kraft. It is his born date. And if you are friends of mine on Facebook, you know, if we're tight, I'll put in the joint. Happy born date, Jerry Kraft, wherever you are. So if he was here, he would receive those flowers. But he is not, so sad. Too bad. And we move on. Also, I wanted to say, what else was on my list? Snow. I have one of my favorite things in the world, and maybe this goes back. Maybe you'll see it in a book about my life. What's that sound like? What about a JN memoir? You know, the recording artist Sade Adu. You know Sade. And the name of the band is Sade. But Sade Adu back there, that's her name too. Like John Jingle, Heimer Schmidt. Her name is the band's name too. Yes, thank you. I'm a giant Sade fan. If there's not a red-blooded young brown male from my era who didn't have a crush on Sade, I don't know what's wrong with you. But I know when I was a young teen with a flat top haircut, with a lot of emotions. Sade got me through some rough periods. Sade I had plates, y'all. I have Sade on wax. Put that on the record player and just feel stuff. I was catching vibes, catching feelings back in 84, 5, 6, 7, 8, 90 to where we are now. And beyond just her, I don't know. I think some people, again, kind of going back to the Macho Man thing, I think if you just kind of like rolled out of a bed of leaves and you're like, oh shit, I'm alive. What's this? Oh, that's Sade. And you don't, it's just like some like yacht rock, or it's just like some smooth lady singing and it doesn't stick to you. I don't know what to do with that information because Sade is like, she's like in my in my heart. Oh, Steve, come on, man. It's a family show. What is a family show? But that's funny. There's like a very warm place when a Sade album comes on, or I just kind of put it back into my CD changer. And it's not like light a candle, like smooth Barry White shit. It's more like I don't know how to explain this. Like her stuff is a whole mood for me, and it's not like hey baby music to me. It's like there's something else there. And I found all of these DJs, and like a lot of them are like, like there's this Japanese dude that's got like 7 3-hour mixes of Sade chill hop or whatever she wants to call it. And I just been having that on in the studio, and I'm just vibing. Thank you, Jim Luhan. Jim Luhan, I didn't forget about you. I'm I'm on a run tonight, right? And I just been vibing out. What you see my mood lighting back here, my purple light. I'm chilling, and it's just like life's okay. I don't know if you thought that's where I was going with this, but it's just like there's some stuff that just makes everything okay. And Sade does that for me. There's a couple of people that I've seen have been, how like you see all these kids walking around with like the old school like black t-shirt with like music group on it, like Aaliyah or something like that, or Selena. There's a bunch of Sade shirts, and I think I may be too old to wear a Sade shirt. Yes, thank you, Paul Pate. You can listen to Sade with your mom or alone and enjoy it all the same. Yeah. It's not like you have to sneak and listen to 2 Live Crew with the bedroom door closed, right? And I just been like, it's just been really good for me. And I wonder if there's anybody that does that for you. Like maybe you really like Credence or whatever, I don't know. But I have such a history with her. And I look her every so often I look up her birthday, and we're getting old. Yeah, that's a go-to here on coffee breaks too. I think she's like in her 70s now, and it's like, yo, when our people are on the cover of AARP magazine, we're officially old, you guys. So, okay, I have a couple of things to do. If Suze is still awake, if you still awoke, report to the dance floor, Suze. Thank you, Gordon. Right? You see what I'm saying? She's different. She's built different. And it sounds like a pedal stilling. Sade I am, sue me. She's amazing. And also, I love that she hasn't done. I think she did an album a couple of years ago, but it doesn't matter. Like she just goes and lives her life, and then maybe she drops an album. I'll cop it. Yeah, I think she's older than that. She might be like she's in her 70s. Oh yeah, Cassandra Wilson. Oh man. Yeah, Gordon, you need to hang around. Thanks, Joe. I don't have any I've never had a Bjork shirt. I would rock one, but I've never seen one that was good. I have a couple of Beastie Boys shirts, and I don't have any Parliament shirts. I wasn't a big P Funk guy, but the guy in my local mom and pop Ross, my mom and pop video game store thought I looked like George Clinton, and it used to bother me. 'Cause I think that's as far as I got with him. He's like, you know who you look like? Can you just put my Xbox game in the bag, please? Uh, Shogun. Yeah, I think she's older than that. Can fact checkers? Can you guys check that out for me? Bill says the student workers caught me in the lab listening to Tribe. Had to explain sampling and electric relaxation. You had to explain sampling to the work study kids. Oh man, what's happening to us? And I don't know who's texting me and DMing me while I'm on coffee break. You know I'm recording. We're live, LIVE, on your video scope. So I don't know where Ringo's. Did Suze check out? I think we lost Suze. You know how this goes. If Suze doesn't report, there is no Suze post. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Joe says she turned 67 on the 16th. Oh, she's not 70 yet? All right. I feel a little bit better. Yeah, you gotta, I don't know, you gotta maybe mumble through it. Oh, yo, shout out. Shout out to Sade. That's what's up. All right, I feel a little bit better. All right, no Sue's pose. That kind of right. We can't be 30 forever, y'all. Oh yeah, tell Suze we're gonna do it, but she fell asleep. Pause. Man, what was it? What did it say? Truth to life or truth to fiction or however that is. We're going to do it, but she fell asleep. So it is what it is. Gordon says, I sat next to George Clinton years ago at a Kravitz concert in NOLA at House of Blues. Wow. Yo, shout out to Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz is a rock star. Shout out to Susanna Hoffs. Are you ready? Hold on. That was my Susanna invitation. All right. Yeah, let's get it. Shout out to the birthdays. All right, you guys, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I have something very special for you guys tonight. A lot of you guys have been rocking with me for a long time. Even Greg, if he's still here. Greg, do you remember what you called me and I never forgot it? It's so funny. Jamar Nicholas, marginally famous cartoonist. Well, your favorite marginally famous graphic novelist has a new book coming out. You don't remember that? It was great. I have a new book coming out, you guys. And because you guys have showed up, I do. I have to record. Look at how busy I am. I have to record some dialogue. I have a new book. So some of you may know that I have a series at Scholastic Graphics. Yes, you should know at this point. Talk about it every time you see me. If somebody ever thinks that I am like a humble bragger, no, this is how I get my word out. This is why you come to coffee break so I could do my thing. El Guapo, I'm famous. Ooh, nice. Write that down. You've been away, Tom Zoller. You got sent away. You guys are kind of like, I don't want to call it a test kitchen or even preaching to the choir, but you guys have always been my rock, right? And that's the whole reason I started my Patreon, which you should be joining at the bottom of the John. You see the John, where rather than me spinning my wheels like I've been doing for the past 20, God knows how long years of the internet, I decided 5 years ago, how long's the Patreon been going on for a while? You know, I'm just going to make a space where I can just talk to you guys, right? The people that kind of want to hear it, rather than me just kind of like hoping somebody gives me a thumbs up or a heart. And from that space, you've gone to see my author graphic novel career ascend. I'm very proud of that. And every time a new book comes out, it's like the biggest thing in the world for me. And I hope for all of you, because I want to share this stuff with you. I'm not just here going, hey, buy my new book. I want to present this stuff like, hey, oh my God, you guys, how cool is this? And we share in that love together, right? So 2020, October 2024, Leon Worst Friends Forever came out. And if you guys remember, you can even go back to the archives. There's a lot of me like blowing the bugle, trying to get the word out, right? Way before this, pre-orders came out. Like, you please pre-order this book. I think some people think because I have this great book deal and all this other amazing stuff that just because the books are on a shelf somewhere, like that's enough. That's fantastic. It's super fantastic. A lot of people have never, right, I get it. It's fantastic. But you have to buy it. That's the next part of this. You have to buy the book. It's great that people send me pictures of in like Alaska with Leon on the shelf. Buy it. That's the last part of that transaction. You guys were along for the ride with Worst Forever. You were along for the ride with Leon the Extraordinary. A lot of you guys came on for Protector of the Playground. There's a lot of Leon, right? I am right now going to show you the new cover for the next Leon book. Leon and the Big, Big Problem is the next Leon book. That's right. Get them jaws for second and third printing. What up, Super D? You're super fantastic. No, thank you. You are. That's right. New book to give to my teacher friends. Yes. John F. Kennedy. Right? Yes. Yo, Jeff. What up, Jeff? Good to see you. I don't know if I said hello to you. Hello. Thank you, Jim Lujan. Love to you. Love to you too. Yes, this is the new joint. Yes, Steve Peters. Yes. 5 claps. So what's the deal here? So something big's going on in Leon's town and he's got to deal with it. You'll have to read to find out. Here's the thing. I got the go-ahead from Scholastic to start putting the word out for the cover. The book is up for pre-order wherever books are sold. But here's the thing, the cover isn't on it yet. So if you go to it now, like say go to Amazon, I like bookshop.org is a great place to support indie bookstores, is a great place to order it. Also, there's a whole other category for book sales when you go through bookshop.org, or you go to your neighborhood bookstore if you have one and say, I need to cop that Leon and the Big, Big Problem. They're going to go, got you, ping, or go to Bezos. It doesn't matter. You have to pre-order these books. They are soft cover. There's hardcover, pause. There's an ebook. Whatever you have to do it. Just like do it. I appreciate all the support. And again, when I talk about you guys being a choir, I respect and I love all of you guys for all of the signal boosting you do for me. We got to keep this going, you guys. If you love the first one and then you go, oh, there's a new book. Yeah, you kind of need to get that one too. And I'm excited to see what happens to the other 2 books once this book comes out, because that's starting to be a nice little collection right there. So here's some news that you can use. pre-order is live. There's no image there, and I didn't really want to talk about it too much because it feels incomplete to send you to a link with no cover, right? It looks kind of gross, but that'll kind of populate at some point. And the book is slated to come out at the end of this year if we make it that far. November 3rd, 2026 is when this drops, and I got a lot of work to get us there. So please tell your friend, tell your neighbor, shake a hand, get the word out. Leon and the Big, Big Problem, maybe my biggest book yet. Thank you for listening to that. I don't know anything about that world, Bill. Especially, I mean, and that feels more like a comic book store thing. I'm not sure. I know you can ask your LCS if they have a Scholastic account, and a lot of those guys will say, "Oh no, maybe I should get that," because that might be one of those stores that don't have Dog Man, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, kids always ask for Dog Man. I don't have it." Because this isn't my indie darling. I don't know how that stuff works, but tell your retailer to cop it. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Yeah, there are hardcovers. There's hardcovers of all 3 books. Is there going to be an omnibus? I don't know. I think, and I'm kind of pushing for this. I would love to get a slipcover. I would love to get like a box set. So if that's something you'd like to see, say something. Greg says, "How can I get you to come talk to my kids? I have this really awesome girl who is so talented at drawing. I have a booking agent, Greg, and we can talk about it. But that's also a part of this thing. So leading up to the book, all of you guys that have been rolling with me forever know that I get really busy the closer the book comes to dropping. I have a book tour probably coming in the spring. I'm lining up school visits. It gets really hectic and is really exciting, but at the same time, it's really exhausting. There's a lot going on. So if that's something that you're serious about, let's talk about it. And if it doesn't happen this year, maybe we can do next year. That's kind of where I'm at these days. Like, I can't go, oh yeah, sure, I'll drop through. Like everything has to be planned out. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, maybe a second. Mayor Goldie Wilson, Mayor. Yes. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. I love the support. I hope that yes, I hope that you guys are inspired or encouraged by all of this. This is all happening while I'm doing these videos, and when I disappear, I'm at this desk making books. It's the best life I think I ever could have asked for, and I want to continue it. And the only way I can continue it is if people buy these books. That's where I'm at. That's really where I'm at. So get the word out. If you're like, oh, I wish this came out when my kids were younger. There are other children in the world. I'm sure somebody who's got kids. And this is one thing I've said to people before. Yeah, it is, and I hate that this sound. Thank you. I hope this doesn't sound like I'm pushing. I'm not pushing. This is just the realism of all of this. Is that we say this all the time. Support creators. Support them if you can. The Patreon's a giant way you guys can support me. If you've been on the fence about it, this is the time. Just get on the bus, Gus. Or grab, and here's a QR code. You can even get a copy, donate it. If you have one of those library boxes at the top of your block where people put books in, buy a couple of copies of Leon and put them in there. A kid would love to read that in his neighborhood and then put it back when he's done. There's other ways to circulate this stuff into the world. It doesn't have to be you bought it and now. And if you are so interested, For you guys, I'll sign whatever you have. Send it to me. I'll get it back to you. You know I'm good for it. Thank you guys. And also, this might turn some of you guys off. What up, George? I'm going to be on this all year, so get used to it. Bill says, we'll end it here. Graphic novels are work, man. Just because you have a year or so, it's still 200 plus pages. Yeah, this book is 240 pages. Worst Friends Forever was 240 pages. Leon Extraordinaire was 270 pages. And also, I write it and I draw it. It's a lot. So I appreciate you guys who respect the craft, you respect comics, you respect graphic novels, you respect literacy, and we just want to put good stuff into the world. That's what I'm here for. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for all the superstars that came through. Yes, Little Libraries. Thank you. Bill's doing pizza math. That's a full series. That's 2 mini series. That's 12 comic book issues. For what? Like one book? What? Yeah, 240 things. So I've really, and this is also a nice fun fact. At this point, with all 4 of these books and stuff I did before this, I think I have drawn close to 1,000 pages of Leon story. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you off the hook. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love you the most. Let's say goodnight, John Boy. Let's do those exits and let's get out of here. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you to the Tabernacle. Thank you for supporting me all these years, and I hope you feel supported from me. Again, one of the things that I do, the way I kind of do my thing here, is I want to inspire somebody. It's fantastic when I go to a school and some kids go, "Oh wow, he looks like me." I didn't have any of that when I was a kid, and I give that back. It's so important. Yo, thank you, D. Appreciate you. Let's say goodnight, John Boy. All right, let's do it. You've been watching Coffee Break with JN, with your boy JN. Guys, we had a great night. Didn't we have a great night? I think we had a great night. We did all types of stuff. We packed it in, pause. And the show always goes to a place I wasn't expecting to go. Guys, I was kind of tired before I got on here. Maybe it's this, but I think it's your giving energy that gets us through this. And thank you so much for your support. So I go by many names. Some of you know some of my greatest hits, and I got a lot of good ones tonight. Hey, Mama Carla, have a good night. John the Baptist, was that one? Captain Scholastic, I'll take that. Give me some, guys, there was some word there. I forgot what we were talking about. I'm washed. John, oh, yo, that's real. You see it on the side of the SEPTA bus. In an accident, call John Morgan. Morgan and Morgan, Morgan Law. I don't know why I'm shouting that dude out. Johnny 5. Johnny 5, how do you feel? I feel alive. Administrator of this facility, thank you. That's one of my favorites. And the captain of this ship, John Luke Picard. Did I get up first? There are 4 Johns. Billy Donnie. And you guys are number 1 in my heart. Thank you guys so much. What happened here tonight? You got to hang out with me and the caffeines, and we chopped it up, and you watched me drink a cup of coffee and run my mouth. Now that I'm out of coffee. Oh, Trey showed up at Pencil to Pencil last night. Trey, good to see you. Somebody wake up Hicks. See you. Be safe. See you next time.